Sophie, thank you. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Look North. Our top story tonight. Under attack, residents of a Rotherham hotel talk about their fears during the recent public disorder.
All the windows for my friend's room, same. To be scared because of inside's all fire. We couldn't breathe. We think today we will die.
It's the first time we've heard from someone inside the building during the riot. Also tonight, a woman from Wakefield seeks answers to how her father died less than 48 hours after being admitted to hospital. And stand by for a weekend of rugby action, bringing together some of the league's top teams, all under one roof.
And it's been a pleasant end to the week for most of us. You can see some blue sky here at Cannon Hall Farm. What about the weekend? I'll be back at the end of the programme with a look ahead.
Hello, thanks for your company this Friday evening. First tonight, 12 days after the riots outside a hotel in Rotherham that was housing asylum seekers, some of those who were trapped inside the Holiday Inn Express have shared footage of what was happening inside. The hotel became a target after false information was spread online about who was behind the Southport stabbings. Ed Thomas has spoken to one of the asylum seekers who was staying at the hotel about his experience of coming face to face with rioters in the corridors.
Some people, please stay here.
We hear all the time, all the people saying, come outside, we kill you if you come outside. We feel all scared. We can't do anything. We just must waiting and looking. If the police not here, maybe I will be dead.
For the first time, we see and hear the panic inside the Holiday Inn Rotherham, the asylum seeker hotel under siege. This was filmed by Abdullah, an Iraqi Kurd who says he arrived here 4 months ago by a small boat from France.
After 2 hours, I see people coming more, like I think more 1,000 people.
He's now too scared to show his face on camera.
When the people won't come to inside with a weapon and knife, the police come to inside to say, we save you, just stay here.
Outside on the 4th of August, hundreds gathered. There was rage, anger towards those inside the hotel. Inside, this man in black was filmed threatening the asylum seekers.
The windows broke in my room, and all the windows for my friend's room, same. To be scared because of inside's all fire. We couldn't breathe. We think today we will die.
The police, outnumbered, come under sustained attack. Then they break through the police lines, smashing their way inside the hotel. Abdullah says he then came face to face with the rioters.
Outside in my room, I saw the 5 people with a mask, black mask, and he said, come to me. He won't fight with me, but the police come and he saved me.
More than 60 police officers, 4 police dogs and a police horse were injured protecting everyone inside. The hotel is now empty, boarded up, a crime scene.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 smashed windows. And this is just one side of the hotel. There's still glass all along the floor. And we've also spoken to people who work inside this place. They were here on the night. They're too scared to go on camera right now, but they too feared for their lives.
Many of those who live here are appalled at the violence.
It was terrible, you know, and it's not representative of Rotherham, I don't think.
People around here are disgusted because this is a good community that look out for each other.
But there are other voices here.
It is difficult to look at with a police tape, with the boarded up windows, stuff like that, but at the end of the day, the people that were inside this hotel, they shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Like Anthony's, he disagrees with the violence, but he's worried about illegal immigration.
The people that I feel sorry for are the workers. Absolutely.
But not the asylum seekers inside. They've all had to leave this place. They've had to leave Rotherham.
You're saying that, oh, it's just, you feel sorry for them, they've had to leave this area. That means whatever happened around here, it worked. It worked.
Abdullah has been moved to another hotel.
I'm still scared. When I'm go to outside here, I'm still scared. Yeah.
He feels lucky to be alive.
Ed Thomas with that report. Next tonight, a Wakefield woman has started legal action against Pinderfields Hospital. She wants answers as to how her father died less than 48 hours after being admitted with stomach pains. Nina Birkinshaw says the end-of-life care provided her for her 74-year-old father has left her suffering nightmares. Abijola has the story.
74-year-old Joe Dragovich lived a full and independent life. He loved a party and spending time with his family.
He was just so much of a man that were full of bounce, you know, and we miss him every day, and I just feel robbed.
Joe's daughter Nina says that although the former miner had the chronic lung condition COPD, he was relatively well before he attended Pinderfield's Accident and Emergency Department with stomach pains on the 28th of November last year.
He had fish and chips and curry sauce and peas night before at 8 o'clock. Before he went into the hospital, he's constantly on the FaceTime to me or my daughters. He's laughing, joking, just his normal self. Nothing that had ever indicate that that was going to happen.
Joe kept in touch on the phone while he waited in A&E in the afternoon, but when he didn't answer later in the evening, Nina called the hospital to be told he had fallen into a coma.
As late on as 17:40, he had a 3-minute video call with a friend, and then to find out a couple of hours later he's in a coma. And I just couldn't believe it.
The family rushed to the hospital to be told there was nothing more doctors could do for Joe.
I asked, please, if this is the only thing you can do for him, then please don't let him suffer. If he's going to go, please go peacefully. After that discussion, he was left a further 12.5 hours with no end-of-life care in place, nothing.
Nina says she's haunted by the way her father died. In the early hours of the 30th, less than 48 hours after Joe was admitted, many of the family who had gathered to be with him had taken a short break and left his bedside. Nina says without warning, a nurse removed Joe's oxygen.
He walked in, he removed the mask and he walked back out. Then after my dad's final breaths, he walked back in and he said, I didn't want to do that while the room was full. Which, looking now, we'd spent all that time, all our family there, and he decided my dad's fate. I've got to live with that. I have awful nightmares of that happening and playing over and over and over and over again, because it's an image I can't move.
Nina's now taking legal action to get answers from the hospital. She wants to see improvements to the end-of-life care offered to patients.
You don't expect things like this to happen to you, and I'm sure there's many cases out there that nobody spoke about, but I am speaking about it because it's not right, and my father's not here today, and I think his care fell way below standards.
Well, in a statement, Mid-Yorkshire Teaching NHS Trust extended their deepest sympathies and sincere condolences to Mrs Birkinshaw. They added that they have conducted a full investigation and have attempted to address each of the family's concerns in turn. They appreciate some concerns remain, so will continue to work with the family. They have recognised that some of the communication surrounding Mr Dragovich's condition fell below the high standard they strive to achieve, and have apologised. Learning from this is already being shared within those teams. You're watching Friday's Look North. Still to come on tonight's programme.
For a bit of local history, at 340 all done, can sell at 340.
Going, gone. Old black and white street signs from a North Yorkshire town are auctioned off. Next tonight, the leader of Bradford Council has said that major roadworks that have led to huge disruption in the city centre will be finished in time for Bradford's UK City of Culture celebrations next year. The £45 million project will reduce the number of cars in the city centre, with streets being pedestrianised and green space added. But some shop owners say that the construction work has led to a big drop in the number of shoppers. Here's our business correspondent, Spencer Stokes.
A city centre consumed by roadworks. Pedestrianisation on a huge scale is reshaping Bradford. A greener, traffic-calmed city is promised. But it all feels a long way off on Market Street, where buses have been banished and retailers say shoppers have deserted them. At Bloom's, trade is down 40%. This business opened 3 days before the pandemic. It's been a tough 4 years, so can they hang on?
I don't think we will survive the year. I think we'll probably after Christmas. I think that's it. Then we'll have to close the doors. In 23, we started to pick up. Then all of a sudden, we've got this coming in since April this year, and it's just taking a nosedive because people don't want to chicane round the roadworks.
The project is costing £45 million, with money coming from the government's Transforming Cities Fund. Bradford Council says traffic will be reduced, air quality improved, and there'll be new green areas.
They've only just opened like little crossings.
Mario's Hairdressing has been in the city since 1952. Their trade has also fallen in the last few months, and the manager isn't convinced people will return.
It's all right putting a bench there and a tree, but what are they going to put there to encourage other people to come into Bradford for? A bench and a tree is not going to make people come back to Bradford. They need other things to encourage people to come back to Bradford now.
This is Bradford.
The big thing that should attract people to the city next year is Bradford 2025, the UK City of Culture celebrations. And it's that deadline that the council is focused on.
I know it's hugely frustrating for people at the moment, but it is all part of the investment that we're bringing in. Bradford has not had this level of investment for decades, and I'm confident people will see that benefit.
And will it be done for City of Culture 2025?
Yes, I mean, when you were speaking to the transport engineers, said, well, Susan, you could have done this over 3 years, or you can do it over 1 year. And we're doing it over 1 year because obviously it's so important that we're ready for City of Culture 2025 to give a really great welcome for people.
So it's on track, and by the start of next year, you'll have a city centre that looks very different.
Yes, indeed. I mean, you can see it taking shape now in that you've got lots of new paving going in and lots of new cycleways and green space, and it is going to look great.
The city centre is undergoing huge changes. Old tram lines have been exposed, 60-year-old roads obliterated. But will retailers still be here when Bradford welcomes its City of Culture visitors? Spencer Stokes, BBC Look North, Bradford.
Thanks, Spencer. OK, let's get some news in brief now. Regulatory action is being taken against Bradford Teaching Hospital. NHS England say they have concerns about the governance of the hospital, the quality of care and the management of the trust's finances. They say they'll work with the trust to resolve any issues. A man's been jailed for 21 years after being convicted of multiple rape offences against 2 teenage girls. Nadeem Hussain from Wakefield plied his victims, who were 16 and 17, with heroin and crack cocaine. Hussain was found guilty of 4 counts of rape and 1 count of assault at Grimsby Crown Court on Thursday. 6 people injured in Sheffield after reportedly being shot by an air rifle. It happened on Wednesday on Richmond Park Avenue. It's understood children were among those hit. 5 people, all under 18, have been arrested. South Yorkshire Police say there will be extra patrols in the area to reassure residents. OK, let's have some sport now. Tonight, one of our Olympic gold medal winners from Paris is getting ready for a big welcome home party in the village where she grew up. Track cyclist Katie Marchant will be the star of the show in Barrack, just outside Leeds. But the exact host venue that means so much to Marchant might surprise you, as Paul Ogden now explains.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Welcome home, Katie.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you very much, thank you.
To the east of Leeds, Barrack in Elmet, Cricket Club, will host a pavilion party like never before tonight.
And my husband's part of the Barrack Cricket Club team, so you know I'm regularly here on a Saturday making the teas, and
really
our little boys running around and playing in the nets with all the other kids. So yeah, there's no place like home.
You honestly still serve teas now?
I'm a cricket wife. You've got to make the sandwiches on a Saturday, right?
You heard Katie mention little Arthur. He starred on Look North before, a real chip off the old block on his balance bike. But clearly there are other sporting influences in his life.
I just want him to be sporty, you know. I think sport provides so many opportunities in life, and I'm forever grateful for what sport has given me in life. And yeah, I think if it's cricket within a team sport, if it's cycling within more of an individual sport, like we will support 100% whatever he wants to be. But at the minute, his favourite things are like football and cricket, so we'll see where we end up.
There's a downside to being a professional athlete at your level, certainly, isn't there? And that is the time you spend away from home. How do you cope with that as a busy mum?
That's been really, really difficult, and something that I struggled with a lot was feeling the guilt of thinking, but my job now is to be a mum and I should be at home looking after him. But you know, the older he's got and the more he starts to understand, he's more involved now and he wants to come and watch mummy ride her bike. And Robert's been incredible, you know, in supporting that. And Finger, you know, when I'm at home, it's like, mummy stand up, mummy come here, mummy do this, and I'm just there doing it all. But yeah, it's just because obviously I want to bundle up every minute that I get to spend with him from the times that I have been away.
Are you ready for tonight's party, though? Everybody will want a conversation with you. Everybody will want to have their moment, possibly even their selfie. I think you're going to be more exhausted after tonight's party than after the Olympics themselves.
I mean, probably, yeah, but I'm still riding that wave. You know, it just felt so special, and if I can share that with everyone that comes to celebrate tonight, then, again, that's just a dream come true.
We can expect Barrack's cricket team to be, shall we say, mysteriously tired and emotional when they take the field. Paul Ogden, BBC Look North.
And I'm sure those celebrations will go long into the night. Now, if you're missing the thrill of the Olympics already, well, never fear, because the Paralympics get underway on the 28th of August. The para table tennis and badminton squads train at the English Institute of Sport in Sheffield. They'll be hoping to win several medals in Paris as well. Here's Mark Ansell.
The eyes of the sporting world are about to turn to the Paralympics. For the para table tennis and badminton squads, this was one of their final training sessions before taking the Eurostar to Paris. Megan Shackleton from Todmorden earned a wildcard place to represent Paralympics GB. After winning bronze at the Tokyo Games, Megan had a whole year out injured, but is back and raring to go.
I couldn't be prouder of where I am now. Like, it's been a lot of hard work and a struggle at times trying to, you know, find my way again, find like confidence in my game. But I think the experience has actually made me a better player now, which I'm really proud of. And yeah, I'm hoping when I come into the games, I've shown really good form this season, and I'm hoping that continues.
Jack Shepherd from Dronfield has won the World Championships twice. At the Tokyo Paralympics, though, he was overawed by the experience and went out at the group stage. He won't let that happen this time.
You wake up a lot of days having dreamt about winning the medal, winning points, but I try not to bring it into my training, into my competitions, because you can't predict how it's going to go. You just got to work your hardest, and what'll be will be on the day, but hopefully that'll be my goal.
Josh Stacey is from Cardiff but moved to Sheffield at the age of just 18 to train at the English Institute of Sport. He says para table tennis is as much a psychological as a physical game.
If you can allow yourself to think clearly and not be overwhelmed by the moment or that specific point, that will allow you to then get the best out of yourself and make those key, intricate, sometimes even minute adjustments to win you a table tennis match.
The Paralympics start on the 28th of August. The squads based here will be hoping and expecting a haul of precious metals are brought back to the Steel City. Mark Ansell, BBC Look North, Sheffield.
And good luck to all of our Paralympians too. Now, it's one of Super League's hallmark events, a weekend of rugby bringing together some of the league's top teams all under one roof. This year, Leeds takes over hosting duties for the first time, as Johnny Reid now reports.
Swapping football for rugby. Ellen Road is preparing to welcome the Super League this weekend 12 clubs from across the country will play 6 fixtures over 2 days, battling it out in front of a crowd of thousands.
I'm really excited and I'll look forward to these fixtures every year. You know, the concept really excites me as a fan, especially here at Ellen Road.
The whole of Rugby League sort of comes together at Magic, and it's such a good atmosphere, and you like that buzz of playing in front of a big crowd, and it's something different, so it just keeps you stimulated and gets you going a little bit, and it's really, really exciting to play in.
It won't just be the professionals taking to the pitch, however. Players with learning disabilities will be showcasing their own talents in the Learning Disability Rugby League. It's the first league of its kind, designed to highlight the importance of inclusion.
I think there are a lot of opportunities that people take for granted day to day, week to week, and coming and enjoying sporting events at places like Ellen Road are one of those. People need to see themselves in different roles, different spaces, to then feel that they're represented, to feel welcome. Seeing people on this pitch from the Learning Disability Super League, people supported by community integrated care is really key to that.
Thousands are expected to fill the stands, with the action kicking off at 2 p.m. tomorrow as the battle for who'll lift the Super League Cup continues. Johnny Reid, BBC Look North, Ellen Road, Leeds.
Thanks, Johnny. Now, here's a question for you. What would you pay for an old street sign then, eh? Abbey Road, associated with the Beatles, went for £40,000 recently, so there is money to be made. And that's why Pickering's community interest company hit on the bright idea of selling off old signs to make way for new ones. And it's all been something of a great success, as Kathy Killick has been finding out.
At Rydale auctioneers, the bidders are eyeing up the lots. But among the walking sticks and random helmets, it's these old street signs that are causing a stir. They've come from Pickering, which is having a bit of a facelift. So, what might they fetch?
But there's some there that are very niche to Pickering, famous sort of Pickering street names. I think if people live there or have a connection, they're going to pay a lot of money for them. And there's some that will be generic. I mean, marketplace, there's lots of marketplaces, so lots of people that will appeal to. So, yeah, they should do well.
The signs have been removed to make way for these distinctive blue and cream signs that Pickering had in the 1900s. It's all part of boosting the town's heritage appeal.
The only other place I know that have got them is Paris, so we are the Paris of North Yorkshire. And it's so important to us because we're part of the community, we love the town, and we've got this heritage that we want everybody to share.
At 210 it is, then at 210 for Smitty Hill. There we go.
Back at the auction, the black and white signs are also proving very popular. 16 are for sale in separate lots, and bidding is brisk.
At 340 it is, then at £340 we're done for a bit of local history. At 340, all done. Can sell at 340. Thank you.
It's all over in half an hour, and the signs fetch just over £2,000, which will go back into the community coffers.
Well, the Park Street, I used to live there 60 years ago, and my dad lived there for 30 years.
So it means a lot to you,
Yeah, it
doesn't
does,
it?
yeah.
And what about you? Why did you bid?
Well, I have a man cave, and it's something to put in the man cave, and memories of Pickering as it was.
55 years ago, when we first got married, we moved in to Castle Road. We rented it at £2.50 a week, and when we saw the sign coming up, we thought, well, we'll have to have a go.
Well, we live on Castlegate, which was one of the main reasons why we wanted to buy it, and it was a gift my husband said that he would pay for them for me.
Pickering people are very proud of being from Pickering, so it was great to be at that auction and see some of the locals there really get behind us and get behind the town. So it's great, win-win for everybody.
Who'd have thought old road signs could give such pleasure? Kathy Killick, BBC Look North, Pickering.
Yeah, I think they're a perfect adornment to a man cave, don't you? An old road sign.
It sounds like a ridiculous idea, a man
and if
cave.
Paris, if Pickering is the Paris of the North, I wonder where the Champs-Élysées is in Pickering.
Right, on to the weather, Phil. And it's been nice today, hasn't
It's
it?
been
Have you
beautiful,
been out?
and I think a good weekend ahead.
Yeah, a pretty decent weekend. Dry, average temperatures, a bit of sunshine, particularly on Sunday, but people were certainly out in force today. You can see in York there, people enjoying a drink and people on the river. And the second picture, people enjoying the seaside as well. Temperatures didn't get much above 18 degrees at Scarborough, but there were some blue skies at times, and I'm sure there'll be similar scenes to this over the course of the weekend. As Phil says, it looks pretty decent. You can get your pictures coming in to the Weather Watchers page. I'm on Instagram as well, Keely.Donovan. So tomorrow, it's probably best summed up as variable cloud, because we will see some cloud developing, and at times for some of us it could be fairly cloudy, but still bright, and there'll still be some spells of sunshine around as well. And for most, it will be dry. We've got this ridge of high pressure building in from the southwest. It'll keep things settled over the weekend for much of Monday too, and then this low pressure pushes in Monday night into Tuesday, bringing some wet and potentially some blustery weather as well. So we saw cloud developing today. It's now starting to melt away, and I think it's fine out there at the moment, and it will continue to become fine through this evening and overnight. Dry with clear spells. We might just have the odd shower moving into Pennine parts, the Pennines and the Dales over at night, and there's a risk of that tomorrow as well. But as you can see, for most places it does look dry, and like last night, temperatures dropping back into single figures. In fact, at the top of the Vale of York last night we got down to 6.2, so it really was quite a chilly start today. Quick look at the high water times then, all in the middle of the afternoon if you're enjoying the coast. 3:30 in Scarborough, 3:15 in Whitby. So it's a fine start to the day, a good deal of sunshine. A largely dry day, just spot 1 or 2 showers in the west, very isolated though. And you can see a build-up of cloud, particularly I think across parts of South and East Yorkshire, but also some sunshine and temperatures lifting to about where they should be for this time of year, getting up to around 20 or 21 degrees. 21 is 70 Fahrenheit. So through tomorrow evening, we'll continue to see that cloud melting away from the north. Into Sunday, it looks like a fine and a dry day for most of us, with some spells of sunshine, probably a little bit more sunshine to come on Sunday compared with Saturday, Phil.
That's not bad, is it? I'm off to Massam tomorrow, so I hope it's good weather up there.
Have a lovely day.
That's as far as we go. Thanks for your company. I'll be back with a late bulletin at 10:30. Good night.